Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another installment of the Retro Entertainment Archive. As per usual, I'm your host, Larry, and this time around we'll be talking about the first film in the Man with No Name trilogy, also known as the Dollars Trilogy, and that is A Fistful of Dollars, that was released by United Artists in 1964, which starred Clint Eastwood in his first major starring role in a film, and it was directed by Sergio Leone. Now, before we go any further, I want to apologize for not putting on more content recently on my channel. Fortunately, life and work has gotten in the way, but I'm hoping to be able to get more content on the channel pretty soon, and starting with this video, I'll be getting back into a more consistent routine, so hopefully if all goes well, I'll be able to get more content on the channel, so wish me luck on that in that regard. Now, I'm going to be referring to some notes as we go along, so please bear with me. Now, the Man with No Name trilogy, or the Dollars Trilogy, was directed by Sergio Leone, as you know. Many film enthusiasts will already be familiar with his work, especially with the trilogy. And again, it starred Clint Eastwood in all three films. And The Fistful of Dollars was released in Italy and other European countries on September the 12th, 1964. The film was not released in the United States until January the 18th, 1967. Now, this was due to fears of a copyright lawsuit from Toho, the Japanese entertainment company which produced and distributed Akira Kurosawa's films. Now, the thing is about A Fistful of Dollars, it is an unofficial remake of Akira Kurosawa's film Yojimbo, which film enthusiasts will certainly recognize. It is in The Fistful of Dollars is in many ways an unofficial remake of Yojimbo, and in many ways also it is a ripoff of it. Now, also, not only is the Dollars Trilogy, well, it has its own stylistic approach to the Western, but in particular, there has been this narrative or this idea that somehow Sergio Leone was responsible for revitalizing or re-energizing the Western genre for film-goers worldwide, and that's simply not the case. The thing is that up until 1964, there were so many Westerns, particularly produced and directed in the United States, that were still hugely successful. For example, just talking about the famous Western directors, for example, like John Sturges, Anthony Mann, Sam Peckinpah, Raoul Walsh, John Huston, George Stevens, and in particular Howard Hawks, and most specifically John Ford. I mean, they were creating Western masterpieces, so the idea that the Western genre was in a slump until Sergio Leone came along and then re-energized the genre itself is simply not the case. I hope, though, that there are many other videos that talk about this as well, but I'd like to add my own perspective on this and say, no, I mean, the Dollars Trilogy certainly didn't revitalize Westerns in and of itself. It put its own slant on it for sure, but it didn't revitalize it or re-energize it. That's certainly not the case. Now, A Fistful of Dollars was an Italian, German, and Spanish co-production and was shot in various locations in Spain. Now, just as an aside, Clint Eastwood was in a TV Western called Rawhide for a few years before he went to Spain in order to be part of the production for A Fistful of Dollars. And this was an opportunity for him to star in a film, and I think he did an admirable job as the man with no name, and he did an excellent job in it. Now, also, I want to say that I wasn't quite familiar with film westerns when I was growing up. I did see them off and on TV broadcasts. Some of John Wayne's films, some of James Stewart's films, some of Randolph Scott's films, off and on. But and especially John Wayne's films. And I wasn't quite familiar with Clint Eastwood and the Italian westerns that he starred in, directed by Sergio Leone, of course, until I think I was in my teens, and I had watched them on TV broadcasts. I think it was on TBS, I believe. It was part of a marathon or something along those lines. Or it could have been also a specialized Western cable channel or something like that. But for me, for liking the films and enjoying them, it grew on me over time, and years afterward. I enjoy watching them. I revisit them every once in a while, and I just enjoy watching them now. The Western genre itself, I enjoy watching quite a lot, and I'm starting to really enjoy a lot of John Wayne's Westerns, particularly directed by John Ford. They're just enjoyable to watch. But getting back to A Fistful of Dollars. Now, the total international gross for the film was more than $19.9 million, or roughly $201 million in today's money, and that was the total gross for the time when it was originally released. And it had I would say, though, the English versions of the trilogy, and particularly A Fistful of Dollars, was distributed by the Hollywood studio United Artists. And basically, A Fistful of Dollars started that particular trilogy, and also started the Italian Western in terms of it being, well, those type of films in Italy and elsewhere in Europe, it had helped to give them a better spotlight, and it also helped to make them much more popular, not only in Italy and Europe, and but also in the United States as well, especially with film enthusiasts there during that time and in subsequent years afterward. So yes, A Fistful of Dollars, I would definitely recommend to anyone who enjoys Westerns or enjoys those types of films. It definitely has its own unique perspective on the Western, especially with its use of the close-ups of various characters, and also the landscapes that are depicted in the film. And I highly recommend it to anybody, and especially for physical media. Now here I have the the Sergio Leone anthology on DVD. This is certainly features the Man with No Name trilogy, as well as another film here in this set. It's Duck You Sucker, or also known as A Fistful of Dynamite, but for the we'll just be strictly talking about the trilogy. And this is a great set, and I highly recommend this. If also as well any Blu-rays, I also recommend getting those as well. In particular, the set has film commentary and audio commentary on all three films, in particular A Fistful of Dollars by the film historian Sir Christopher Frayling, which is an excellent listen, and I highly recommend getting the films, but in particular for the commentary, because it gives a wealth of information. And so that's, I guess, it for this particular part of the Dollars trilogy. I won't be doing them back to back to back. I'll be going back to them in subsequent videos. But it's a pleasure for me to talk about these films, in particular A Fistful of Dollars, and thank you very much for watching. As well, I invite you to put in the comments below what your memories and thoughts and observations are about Clint Eastwood's Italian westerns, and especially the Sergio Leone Man with No Name trilogy. So until the next installment of the Retro Entertainment Archive, this is Larry. Thank you very much for watching, and so long for now.